Hey gang, welcome back. It is I, DrBossKey, and today I thought I'd do a tips and tricks on Shmup Creator, or for Shmup Creator, that is primarily about this piece of functionality that we have now, which is when you attach an enemy to another enemy, you can now reliably have that enemy hidden that's attached. So previously, you weren't able to have a hidden enemy attached to another enemy. So then that meant you weren't able to trigger other types of logic and other things. So how about I jump over and show you kind of a version we did. We're working on this prototype boss right now for our final challenge level. And I thought I would just quickly show you this. All right. So regardless of these crazy patterns, of course, so what's going to happen is I'm going to shoot this enemy and then it's going to disappear. So it'll take about 5 shots or so. And then, so that flavor, that phase of the boss is now done. And so what we do is, and this isn't anything to do with hidden yet, but what we do is we switch the orientation of the main boss face. So now it's like go time, right? So I know that last phase looked kind of crazy, but now you'll see here. So the cool thing is that this enemy, and I'll show you this as unpacked. So after I shoot this guy, one more time, and you'll see a little flicker there, but there's things you can do about that. So now what happens is that this is essentially a new enemy that has a spline where it's moving. The other one had a spline as well that was moving, but it looks like it's the same enemy. And now you have a different movement pattern. So if I shoot this enemy again, yeah, so you'll notice that the enemy swaps because it's attached. And now we've changed its movement to a different type of pattern. And then the final piece is another version of this here. So it lets us create a little bit more of a dynamic spawn for the boss types. And you can change your movement behaviors or patterns. So you could do different layering of things now, where you could destroy like a turret on a boss, and now that it's attached, you could have a new form, a new version of the turret, or a new weapon. So there's all kinds of cool things you can trigger off of this. So once again, I'll quickly show you this here. So we got that there. We shoot this guy, we shoot him there, and then El Dundo. So super, super quick. That's maybe a little too quick. Sorry about that. All right. So we got this guy here. This guy here. And the cool part is that his spawns change. His movement patterns change based on where you destroy him because there's enemies attached underneath. And yeah, so you can see that. So it's super cool. Gives us a little bit more dynamic. It gives us dynamicism. I don't think I'm saying that right, but it gives us a bit more of a dynamic way to change boss behaviors. Okay, so how about I run you through how we did this? So let me pull this guy apart. I guess I can pull him down there, pull him over, and then, okay, cool. All right, so we have this version of the boss, which is not a big thing to pay attention to at the moment. This is just a one piece because I didn't need it to be different, so it's its own enemy type. When you kill this enemy, it then will spawn, basically, I'll show you that. Let's see here. Okay, so yeah, so we have always good to have a little bit of comments. So phase 2 head boss. So yes, yeah, so we have a trigger here, which is stays active in this case, and when the connected enemy entity's state is all dead, which is this guy here, we then spawn this enemy and this enemy because we wanted them to be separate. For the boss battle, I wanted people to be able to attack the nest because the nest is going to have these attacks as well, and I also want them to attack the head. So the head's the primary entity for the boss, but there are things that we can give you like rewards and other bits by letting you destroy other parts of the boss phase. All right, so a couple things here that are important. So one is we have 4 versions of the same boss, and what I did here is just for this is just a little cheeky thing I did. So as you defeat the boss phases, he gets more tired. So his animation slows down a little bit, you know, or its animation, whatever. I think it's a he. It's actually it's brood mother, so it doesn't really have a gender. So it sits on eggs and does crazy stuff. All right. So now that you can see, it's sort of like an onion skin, right? And then what we did is they all have collision. We turned off no death explosions, no items. In this case, you could add them for yours, not a big deal. We set our hit points to low just for testing. And then these guys are going to get boss bars, which I didn't add. So I'll just add these now for me. And so, yeah. So then I think that was the only thing that I changed. Okay, cool. Yeah. So then the key here is that when you defeat the first version of the boss, so this boss has another trigger state. So all we do is we daisy chain these. So it's the same thing. So in this case, it stays active. Connected entity state is all dead. And then so what happens is that you destroy this enemy and then this one spawns. There is a tiny little flicker. You can add particles to cover this up. You can do this in different ways. This is just me showing you the technical bits. And then the other piece that's important is we have a under attach. So under settings, there's the attach. So we have attached this enemy to this enemy type. And that's why when you move the base enemy around, it takes the attached enemy and it moves it as well. So, and the cool part is you can have, as you saw here, different waypoints. So to show you that, is it the different waypoints here? Yeah. So you can see the waypoints here. This one's just a very small one here. So I'll zoom in on that. And this is just us to give us, we want a little bit of a little bob up and down. So it's on a loop and it just bobs up and down. And then once this guy is killed, same thing happens. So this guy spawns. He has his own spline, which is cool. Also set to a loop in my case. They don't need to be in your case. You can do this all kinds of different ways, but I wanted it to be more dynamic for me. And what's more important though is that because this guy is attached to this guy, when you kill this guy, this guy, because we're gonna put them all on top of each other, will spawn wherever this guy was. And so that's what we did here. So same thing for this version of the enemy. So you technically have 4 faces of the boss, and they're all done the same way with this. This guy is attached to this guy, and this guy is attached to this guy. So you can see the chain there, right? See? Pretty cool. Thank you, Sonny, very much for adding this. So yeah, so let me see. Was there anything else? I think those are the key pieces. Now, the cool part about this is you could expand anything you want based on setting up boss phases in this particular way. It gives you some different types of options. So, and a little more variety that you maybe wouldn't have had otherwise, specifically with being able to spawn multiple enemies or to spawn enemies on top of other enemies. So, and maybe to show it to you again. This was the outcome of that. All right, so we kill this guy here. That guy erupts. Now we got our bobber in the old Nesto right here. And there I have a little bit of a weight on that particular original spawn waypoint there for him. So, and then he's got a different pattern, of course. And this is all just prototype temporary as I refine the gameplay, but the core piece is here, right? So, and then I can set my different enemy attacks and all that good stuff, different patterns based on that. So yeah, that's it. Short and sweet. If you have any questions, please leave them down in the comments. For all the folks that have been watching and subscribing and ringing the bell and watching the videos, thank you very much. It's been really a treat to watch the channel grow and to be of service to the Shmup Creator community. Thank you so much to the Shmup Creator devs and community. Just we've come a long way in the last year that we've been almost a year that we've been, I guess it's about a year at this point, that we've been playing with this probably. Anyways, I digress. I was thinking about time. Also in the description, there are links to the beta builds that or pre-alpha builds that we release, to the community for playtesting. Thank you so much, and we'll catch you next time.